The big question, what booster boxes to invest in October 2025? This year is coming to a close, and man, what a year it's been for Pokemon cards, and in particular Pokemon card investing. Both singles and sealed have absolutely shot off this year. It's been crazy. The demand for this hobby just seems to keep growing and growing, and the money being injected into it seems to keep growing and growing. So with all that in mind, what are some booster boxes that we could park our money to still ensure that we make gains on them? So what are some good investments for October 2025? Hey, if you're new here, my name's Michael /PokeOz. We talk all things Pokemon card investing with a particular lens on the sealed investing side. If you're coming back, I really appreciate the support. It's very important to me, so thank you so much. So let's just jump straight into it. Number one on my list, and look, I'm not saying this is the greatest Pokemon card set ever made, but there's something quite special about this set, and that's Paldea Evolved. The current booster box price is $476 US. And in case you didn't realize, Paldea Evolved is hopping out of rotation next April. So it'll be out of competitive play. The chances of a booster box ever being printed outside of competitive play are very slim. It's happened on the very odd occasion. One of those occasions was mixed up during COVID where we had massive supply issues. So quite typically, booster box reprints for sets out of rotation just doesn't seem to happen. So this could well mean that we never see an additional influx of supply of Paldea Evolved booster boxes. And as people rip them open, chasing some of those strong chase cards inside the set, particularly that Magikarp, which I'll talk more about in a second, it's going to mean this booster box is going to start reducing in supply and therefore becoming rarer and rarer. It is arguably one of, if not the best booster box from the first half of Scarlet and Violet era, the first half of the block there. And what makes it really special is there's a very memorable card inside here. And I really like booster boxes that have very memorable cards inside them, because if they have very memorable cards, it means people are going to want to rip them open and chase that memorable card. And of course, that memorable card is Shinji Kanda's Magikarp. Shinji Kanda is becoming quite the cult figure when it comes to artists inside the Pokemon Company International's TCG here. And this Magikarp is one of his best. Gyarados at the top, the way the colors pop off. The big one though really with this card is, yes, it's shot up in raw price. As you can see on the figures on the screen here, you'll see that I'll show booster box pricing and some of the raw cards from the sets inside here. A couple of things with this though, it's gone up a lot raw, but it's also very expensive as a Gem Mint 10 because it's hard to grade a 10. It's got like a 21 or 22% gem rate 10 with PSA, meaning print quality is pretty poor, but therefore the multiplication effect from raw to PSA 10 is quite high. Like this card is over $2,000 US in a PSA 10. So very expensive as a PSA 10 card. So that's going to add to that gamble and people wanting to chase this card. Moreover than that, a few other things. We're starting to see total set value from Paldea Evolved creep up. And if we see total set value creep up, we're going to see sealed product keep up. So I think this is a good investment. I'm not going to say it's going to go to a $1,000 booster box in 6 months, but if come April, this isn't a $600 or $650 booster box when it's out of rotation, I'll be extremely surprised. So I still think even at the price it's at $476, it's a very solid investment. Moving on, my second choice here is Astral Radiance. Astral Radiance is still sub $400 US a booster box. It sort of got overshadowed by a lot of good Sword and Shield sets. And you know, none other things like Brilliant Stars and Fusion Strike and of course Evolving Skies, but I still think Astral Radiance is a good investment. I wouldn't say I've got a soft spot for this set, but I have been harping on about this set for a while. And if you look at the figures here, it has sort of stagnated for a while. And quite often when I talk about booster box price rises, what we see is this stagnation, then a massive jump, then a stagnation, then a massive jump. They don't just go in this linear path all the way up. What happens is they spend some time reaching, I guess, new levels. It takes a while for the market to absorb some of the supply at that price, and as they get rarer and rarer, maybe some demand or maybe some price hikes in some of the singles inside the set, they start making their way back up again. And I think that's what's about to happen to Astral Radiance. You've got a few nice alternate art Pokemon cards inside there, of course the Machamp's in there. I've always said that the Origin form Dialga and Palkia are undervalued, and I really like the Trainer Gallery inside this set. Of course that Misty and then the Garchomp inside there are phenomenal Pokemon cards. There's two very big chasers inside the Trainer Gallery. So Astral Radiance at $395, in my opinion, is still a very good investment. Before we go into the next three, quick segue to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collectr app. There'll be a link in the description to download it. In the content creator section, you can check out my journey if you want to, but Such an easy app to use. You can put all your singles, all your sealed product inside there. From an investing standpoint, you can go into any set, you can cycle through and see the top hits inside a set, you can see total set value inside a set. There's new filters now in your portfolio tab, so you can filter from products or cards that have made you the most gains on a day, which is really good to see. You can filter from the highest or most expensive item you have to the least expensive. The other thing that's new also is typically on that bottom right tab, what it'll show you is total amount spent and total value on paper. We've seen that before if you've got the app. Now though, you can actually put in realized gains. So once you sell something, it'll log you and track your realized gains, not just your paper gains. So some massive updates, excuse me, on this app. Really, really good. Again, link in the description to download it. Third booster box I want to talk about is Brilliant Stars. It is now over $500 US. I did a video on this about a fortnight ago when it was sitting about $490 US, saying this is a good investment. The old art Charizard has gone absolutely crazy. The box art itself is really nice. There's a Charizard on the side of it. That Charizard is now nudging $400 US raw. It's a pretty special card where it seems to be fighting Venusaur there, and I don't know, somewhat it seems to tie into a lot of these Mega Evolution special illustration rares that we're seeing in the new Mega Evolution box, where they send the Pokemon are fighting each other, like Lucario and Venusaur there, etc. So I don't know whether that has an impact on it. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm clutching at straws, but I like the uniqueness of the Charizard alternate art Pokemon card. It's a really, really nice card. Moreover than that, Brilliant Stars has a phenomenal trainer gallery. It has the most expensive trainer gallery out of all 4 trainer gallery subsets from the Sword and Shield era, which is of course includes Astral, Radiance, Lost Origin, and Silver Tempest. You've got evolutions inside there like Umbreon and Sylveon. You've got Mimikyu inside there. It's a stacked trainer gallery, and again, total set value is rising for Brilliant Stars, and as total set value rises, that means the chase cards price is rising. Therefore, we're going to see an increase in the sealed product, and we're already starting to see that with Brilliant Stars. So I would hop on it before it gets too expensive. And speaking about too expensive, here's one that takes no explanation, and that is Evolving Skies. And you might go, well, what a stupid choice, Michael. Like, it's $2,500 a booster box. Like, you've well and truly missed the boat. And look, you're right to a degree there. Like, if you'd bought it at $120 US at pre-order back in 2021 when it came out, of course, you'd be absolutely laughing. The gains you've made is absolutely phenomenal. But this set, mark my words, will go to team up pricing. It just will. The set has the highest total set value out of any Pokemon card set, all the way back to some very, very old vintage Pokemon card sets. We've got to go a long, long way back in time to find a Pokemon booster box set that has the same or greater total set value than what Evolving Skies has. There are not too many out there. This is one of the greatest Pokemon card sets ever made. Okay, I get it, the pull rates are very difficult, but that won't stop people. You got Umbreon over $2,000, you got Rayquaza over $600, you've got the Umbreon and the Dragonite now nudging $500 US. This set is just so absolutely stacked with hits. It's such a phenomenal Pokemon card set, and I can guarantee you in 3 years' time, $2,500 US will seem like an absolute bargain to buy Evolving Skies. This is going to be an incredibly expensive booster box one day. There is no way in my mind, and again, I'm very bullish on sealed Pokemon card investing, there is no way in my mind that one day this won't be a $10,000 US booster box. It just will, in my opinion. And finally, the 5th choice I wanted to talk to you about, another underrated Sword and Shield set. So we've talked about 1 Scarlet and Violet set and now 4 Sword and Shield sets. That is Chilling Reign. It has had a bit of love lately, but again, it sort of has tapered off, I guess, because a lot of the hits tapered off in price. We've got the Blaziken inside there, which is making a little bit of resurgence. That actually dropped down in price a little bit. Of course, the second most expensive card, that beautiful Moltres inside there, the Galarian Moltres, again dropped off in price, but has made a resurgence. So a lot of these chase cards are starting to climb back up in value again, which in my opinion should resonate to an increase in the sealed product price. This has the second highest total set value behind Evolving Skies. Actually, I think Fusion Strike might have overtaken it now. Second or third highest total set value out of the whole Sword and Shield era. And look, maybe the booster box price isn't where it needs to be because it doesn't have those absolute fan favorite Pokemon as chase cards. But again, the Galarian Moltres is a beautiful chase card. There's a lot of other alternate art cards inside there which are awesome chase cards. And it has that Blaziken, which is worth a lot. And in particular, it's also worth a lot as a PSA 10. So at roughly $500 or a bit north of $500 US, I can't see Chilling Reign not being a $1,000 booster box one day. Now, with all that in mind, that doesn't mean there's not other good booster box investments, particularly from Scarlet and Violet era. I don't think you're going to go wrong with any of the booster boxes about to go out of rotation in April next year. I don't see an issue with Scarlet and Violet base. I also don't even see an issue with sets like Obsidian Flames. Even some of the modern ones, like, man, we've seen some gains on Destined Rivals, haven't we? But something like a Surging Sparks, which has already had a booster box reprint, will it ever get another one? Like, surely if we're going to do booster box reprints, it's going to be sets like Journey Together and Destined Rivals, which haven't seemed to have got them yet, or even, you know, a second wave of Mega Evolution. It's like, will Surging Sparks ever get another booster box reprint? And if it doesn't, we're going to see those singles start climbing up in price, and therefore we're going to see the booster box rising up in price as well. So there's certainly some other good deals to have when it comes to sealed booster box investments across the Scarlet and Violet era. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz, and I'll catch everyone next time.